I bought my first house at 22 years old, and I definitely had no idea what I was doing. One key tip that I would like to recommend is that if you work for a company that offers 401k matching, please contribute at least the minimum for that matching. It made the entire difference in the world when I went to buy my first investment property, which I'll talk about in a later video. In the last video, I talked about what led me to make that decision to buy my first house. In this video, I'm going to break down the actual numbers and show you what it actually took to buy my house back then. When I first became a nurse in 2015, I was getting paid $31.92, I think. And at the time, my checks were around about, I want to say $1,800 to $1,900 every 2 weeks with no overtime. I was staying at home with my parents, so realistically, I was able to easily save any given paycheck. My monthly expenses were pretty low at the time. Only I had a car note, I think my cell phone bill, and I was still under my mom's insurance. So I was living the life. At the actual time of buying my house, I think I only had about between $7,000 and $8,000 saved. My credit at the time was actually pretty good. I opened my first credit card ever the day that I turned 18 years old. And no matter what I charged to that card, I would fully pay it off every single month. I would never carry over a balance because I never wanted to pay interest on any of my purchases. One key point to this video is that when I was, I believe, about 16 or 17, my mom put me on her Kohl's credit charge card, and that helped my credit a lot. I think it boosted it between 100 and 200 points. So shout out, Mom. I don't think if she had done that, I wouldn't have been able to be qualified to buy any of my vehicles at the time or my house. I started working with a realtor at that time when I was 19 years old. I got approved for, I think, $250,000 to $300,000 for a first-time buyer's home loan for a home, which again, I believe the minimum to put down was about 3%. So that's where I was. The search for my house that I'm in now was not easy at all. Like I said, my last video, I toured at least 2 to 3 dozen homes. I paid for a minimum of 10 inspections, which if you're familiar with the home buying process, an inspection is anywhere between $500 and $700 that you do not get back. I eventually came to the conclusion that you can't really have everything that you want in a home. You either have to make a sacrifice of the cost of the home, something that you would want inside the home or attached or associated with the home, like the attached garage, etc. That was my deciding factor. Also the location. So something always has to give in one of those 3 areas. Looking back, there are a lot of things that I didn't understand at the time. The true cost of home ownership, the fact that you should have some type of buffer before you purchase a house, as well as expenses that come after buying the house, like furniture, blinds, for example, having extra money just in case something were to go wrong. If I could go back before I bought my house, I would definitely stay at my parents' house a lot longer. I would save all of the money that I possibly could save realistically. And I would also up my 401k contribution with my job. A lot of people don't understand the power that your 401k will ultimately hold. And I'll touch on that probably in a much later video, because that I think is one of the true keys to financial success, especially if you work at a job where they match it to a certain extent, right? So you want to take full advantage of every single free dollar you could possibly get. I would also want to understand my cash flow a lot better. Even before buying my house, I never really looked at how much money I was making and how much money I was spending, which was a poor decision on my hand. Nobody really walked me through anything like that. Definitely start a hard budget for myself for sure. Start saving as much money as I possibly could. Start understanding cash flow and the importance of having and making an excess of cash each and every month, as well as not making such crazy impulse purchases. The next video, I'm going to talk about the first few years of home ownership, the good, the bad, what nobody really talks about or walks you through. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every single one of you for viewing or liking or subscribing or putting a comment down below. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be sure to tag them on to a video later when I answer questions later down the line. Thank you guys again.